going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Club 36 podcast. I'm Quinn. It's Leland, Brew,
Twan.
All right. Today, we got some pretty good topics. I mean, we starting to get used to doing what we doing and stuff like that. So we're gonna keep coming with the good episodes. I've been getting a lot of good feedback from people. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and start with the subtopics. The early NBA MVP favorite. I'm gonna go ahead and let Twan start, and we just gonna flow this way.
Man, this one was kind of tough. I ain't gonna lie. To me, I'm gonna go with let me see. I would go with Giannis only because of I know what he could do throughout the season. There's still a lot of basketball left to play too.
Yeah.
So that's one of the main things. A lot of basketball left to play, and I think to me he could be the one at the end of the season that'll be up there in the race. If not winning MVP, at least the top three. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm gonna roll with.
Yeah, I'm gonna backdoor and go with Giannis too, because I mean, we all know they need him, and then down the stretch, that's somebody that can lean on too, especially in a series.
All right, I'm gonna go a little bit different. I'm gonna say Luka, because I feel like he's been before the last two seasons started, he's been thrown out there as one of the favorites, and I think that right now he's low key having a pretty solid season.
Yeah.
And Dallas is a pretty good team right now. I mean, I understand. I don't even know who top seed right now. I think it's is it Phoenix? I don't even know.
In the West, I'm not sure.
But I'm still roll with Luka on that one.
I'm with you because I ain't gonna lie, I'm hard on Luka. Or I was, when he first came in. But he got that, when I watch him, you can tell he from Europe. Like the way he played the game is real unorthodox. But dude, he averaging, I think 30 so far still.
I think so.
You know what I'm saying? So that's tough. Even though we still early, I think they only 15 games in.
Yeah. 15.
But you averaging 30 points, that's an accomplishment right there.
That's the MVP numbers, right?
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I got Luka too. We're gonna see how this, next half of this NBA season play out. But right now, I think he clear-cut MVP.
Okay, if you had to pick a sleeper, somebody that's not necessarily a favorite right now, but they having a good season and could sneak their way into that conversation, who would you go with on that one?
I'm gonna go with Donovan Mitchell.
Okay.
And only reason, number one, he got traded to Cleveland. But he got Cleveland looking pretty good. It's that everybody know when you change teams, you change your schemes, you change your teammates. It take a while to get your chemistry right.
Yeah.
But I think he can emerge as an MVP later on this season.
I'm gonna go with somebody that's not really a surprise, but he's having a pretty good season. His team not playing that well, but he's having a pretty good season. I'm gonna go with Steph Curry as being a sleeper.
That was gonna be my pick.
Yeah, because he's averaging I think 36, 38 points in between that range.
I watched him the other night, and he looking good too, man.
Pause.
Man, come on. Yeah.
So
I agree with him. I'm going with Steph. Like I said, they lost a couple days ago, but he dropped that 50 bomb too. So.
Yeah.
Man, I ain't gonna lie. I'm not sure on this one. I can tell you who I would want it to be, though. I would want LeBron to be in the damn race, man. He just has to do it because he's LeBron. I'm tired of hearing about this GOAT talking all this stuff. If he does what he needs to do this season, he can really shut a lot of people up. We know what he can do.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I don't know what they got going on in L.A. right now.
They don't. It's
just they need to get it together because I would want to see him do that before he leaves the game, Because he got years left, but
they play the Spurs tonight, and it's 3 players on the Spurs that are potential trade targets for the Lakers.
For the Lakers, yeah.
Jakob Poeltl, Doug McDermott, Josh Richardson. They all been rumored to be linked to the Lakers. And I think that this game right here is going to kind of see what that missing piece could be because they just got Schroeder back. They just got Thomas Bryant back. Schroeder looked decent the last game. Thomas Bryant, you could tell there's potential there. But I still think that they need to get another center that can kind of bang down low because I think the system they trying to run with a stretch big is not working. And I think that's the problem with the Lakers right now. The system, it doesn't work with the personnel. So I think that I do kind of agree with the whole like LeBron thing because realistically, he's been robbed of so many MVPs. Yeah. So I do think that if he was to come around and get that team to the playoffs, because they looking pretty bad right now, but if he was able to get them to the playoffs and he's averaging, because I think he was averaging like 26, 9, and 8 or something like that.
Okay.
So I mean, he's still doing his thing, and it doesn't seem like he's slowing down. He's injured right now, but I think he'll get back to it. So I know it was a thing that popped up on IG the other day about Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis supposed to be fighting early next year. Mm-hmm. So, you know, of course, some people is gonna say Garcia. I personally think Tank gonna kill him, but need y'all input on that. What y'all think is gonna happen in that fight?
I think that fight is set for. I think they set the date for like January 7th, if I ain't mistaken. I could be wrong, but I thought that's what I seen. Initially, I was thinking more like a March or April bout. But man, I respect both of them. Like the sport of boxing then kind of got tainted. Like it ain't too many. Like when we was kids, I felt like it was way more competition in boxing at every level. But with this one, man, I think Tank gonna be too much for him. Garcia ain't really fought anybody like Tank. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's gonna be a runaway fight. I think Tank gonna take it maybe by a unanimous decision, or maybe like a late round knockout. But I think he gonna take it for sure.
I'm gonna roll with Tank on this one, man. Now I ain't gonna lie. Well, I forgot which fight it was. I think it was when he fought Pitbull. He gave him a little trouble.
Yeah, for sure.
He had a lot of power. That was probably this is the first one that I've seen, first person that he matched up with that can hit, you know, similar to him. Ryan Garcia, he got a little strength too, but I don't think he's as strong as Tank. If Tank does what he needs to do in camp and can outlast him through the rounds, he'll probably knock him out late. That's what I'm thinking because once he gets in the groove, he's too much for people, man. Now, it does take him a while to get warmed up. When you watch his fights, it takes him a while to get warmed up, but once he gets there, it's really hard to stop him because he's so strong, man. Like, he got legit knockout power.
Especially for their weight class. I ain't going to cut y'all, but
his weight class.
For that weight class.
I'll put it like this. If he was a heavyweight,
right,
you can compare him to Mike Tyson. I would just say it. He probably won't be killing people like Mike Tyson, but if he was a heavyweight, like, with his skills, he'll be a comparable boxer to Mike Tyson. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, I think I'm rolling with Tank on that one. That power is going to be too much. Maybe be an early knockout.
Yeah,
I think one counter punch away, it could end it early.
Yeah, I think so too.
I don't think it's going to last too long.
I think I'm just not like probably I say 4 rounds. Only because I seen Garcia he didn't get knocked out, but he got knocked down by somebody that was inferior fighter to him.
Yeah.
I think that him trying to fight Tank might be a little too much. He should have tried to start off with somebody a little lower and work his way up because he ain't really fought nobody. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think he trying to duck guys like Haney, guys like Stevenson, who was trying to get to that level so they can fight Tank.
Yeah.
So I feel like for him to skip those two just to fight Tank, I think it could end up being pretty bad for him. Like Garcia got a little power behind his punches, but he's flat-footed. He don't really have no defense. And, you know, Tank loves setting his opponents up. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's kind of the same combinations every fight, but it works. He sets them up, and then he catches them when they least expect it, and they sleep.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty much how he goes. So I think it's going to be about 4 rounds, bro.
Probably the only fight I've looked forward to in a while.
For sure. Yeah. Man, you know, they've been doing them bullshit fights with Jake Paul. Even though Anderson Silva, I like, UFC-wise, I respect him, but
that should have never happened though, man.
He's 47 years old or whatever.
See that video where he like swore, but he didn't even touch me.
Hold on.
They saying
I'm gonna have to find that one, dude.
Man, I think Jake Paul need to go ahead and fight an actual boxer. He be fighting motherfuckers that don't box and shit.
If he fought a boxer, he'll really see there's a difference.
Fighting NBA players and shit, and then fighting MMA fighters who don't have a boxing background.
This off topic, but hey, y'all seen y'all know the dude Salt Poppy? that was on. He saw Pop. He was on TikTok. Dude, he looked funny though. Kind of heavy set cat. Glasses. He always be rubbing his hands together like he super fresh.
I'm gonna have to.
I'm gonna send it to y'all. But dude been knocking. Like he ain't no, you know what I'm saying, no real fighter. But he been knocking niggas out on the same level as him. I'm gonna send y'all some vids, man, to check him out.
You know who Jake Paul needs to fight? Somebody who actually looks like they have some good boxing skills. Fight Le'Veon Bell and see what happens.
Le'Veon Bell gonna put him to sleep.
I'm just saying, because Le'Veon Bell, even though the last fight he had, he lost, but he lost by decision. He didn't get knocked down. He was fighting a real boxer. He didn't fight an amateur. Yeah. He fought a real boxer, and he only lost by decision. So fight him, Jake Paul, if you want to fight somebody. You going to fight random niggas and shit like that. That shit don't work, bro. Don't respect none of that shit. Setups. All right, let's move on real quick. The future of Marvel. Okay, I'm not gonna spoil anything because I don't know if y'all saw Black Panther yet.
The weather's been kind of throwing me off on that one, so I got to get out there soon.
But I think that right there was it was a good movie. It was real detailed, and it's like they didn't skip any steps with this one. It's like they made sure they went through every small detail to get the movie right.
Yeah.
And it's like this movie was probably one of the best directed Marvel movies I've seen in a while. And you could tell that they really put in the work with the script, choosing the actors, the scenes, everything. The action wasn't too much. It wasn't hella CGI like it normally is.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was good, man. So
and everything you had just pointed out, people were still like kind of overcritical about the runtime, but movies like that, you got to pay attention to stuff, and you can't just leave out details just to make it short or something like that. So you can't skimp on that kind of movie.
Because I know the
it's about 3 hours, ain't it?
I think 2 hours and 41 minutes.
2 hours 41 minutes.
I'm gonna watch all of it.
Yeah.
I say because you know the quantum multiverse stuff is kind of the thing that they're doing right now.
With Ant-Man and Wasp.
Yeah, because that movie comes out I think early next year.
Yeah.
Of course, we all know Kang the Conqueror is in that movie. But you know, for him to be supposedly the next bad guy in the phase, for him to be in that movie, I mean, I'm kind of thinking that it might be other variants of him in the other movies, because you know the He Who Remains was in Loki,
right,
which is different from Kang,
right,
and so it's like if he's gonna be in that movie, it's like, okay, who is really gonna be the main villain? Because there's a lot of people it could end up being if Kang is gonna be in a movie that early. So I'm kind of wondering, like, what exactly is Marvel gonna do as far as making sure the movies line up to make sense with this?
Because you brought up the multiverse thing. I mean, they may, like you said, they may have different variants, because if it doesn't line up how it's supposed to be, the other movie's gonna have to line up with other movies.
Mm-hmm.
So it's got to line up somewhere, you know. But as far as the future goes, I think, because everybody seemed like, I saw a little bit of, you know what I'm saying, I fell asleep. We'll talk about that. I'll rewatch it. But I think that movie really is really set up the future of Marvel as far as what's gonna come.
Yeah.
Like I'm waiting now. I really want to see what's gonna happen now after seeing that. So I'm gonna just say that if y'all haven't seen the movie.
Yeah, I gotta make that happen soon, man.
But I think they did a good job. I think whatever's coming next is gonna be real good. And actors, you said Ant-Man, that's 2023, right? Who's starring on there? The same dude that played Ant-Man?
Paul Rudd.
Yeah, that's the same one.
Same ones from the.
Is that what's that guy name? Black dude that's on Creed 3. Is he on that movie?
Yeah.
Okay, him.
He's playing Kane.
I've been waiting for him to be on a Marvel movie.
Oh, dude from Lovecraft Country?
Yeah, I've been waiting on that because
I can't think of his name.
Yeah, I've never seen
it. It's like it's Jonathan
Reynolds?
Powers or Irons or something like that.
Powers.
Yeah.
See, I've never seen
I
that
think
show.
so. I think Jonathan Powers or something like that. Yeah. Because I already knew, like, when I saw him play on that show.
Lovecraft Country.
Yeah, and he played on a few other movies and stuff. I was like, man, this dude is pretty legit, and I could see him being a Marvel character.
Yeah, because he got range.
Yeah.
Like,
so
he can really act.
In there, and I'm ready to see what he can do with that movie. And of course, you know, Creed, but we talking about Marvel. So I really want to see what he's gonna do with that.
Okay. But who do y'all think that the villain could end up really being? Because like I said, like Kang to show up that early, because they have a long way to go in order to really match up to the main bad guy. And I'm trying to figure out, because it could still be Kang, but at the same time, it could be somebody else. Like, I just don't know. So what y'all think?
Kang.
I don't know, because like, when I think back, when we first seen Thanos, he didn't appear into the movie as the main villain until like, well, because you had the Avengers, which was Ultron, Avengers 2. Then they came out with Guardians of the Galaxy, and it wasn't even like he was in the movie. It was an end credit scene. We just like he just looked at the camera smiling. I forgot exactly
that
what
was that was Avengers,
the
first Avengers.
So I don't know if it's gonna be something like that where they show Kang, and he was actually in Loki, but Loki wasn't a movie. And like I said, I ain't seen Black Panther yet. So I don't know, man. It's as far as potential villains, it's tough because it ain't too many that was.
Cause it could be somebody out the blue, and you'd be shocked, surprised on it too. So you really don't know what to expect on that one.
I say because Adam Warlock is supposed to appear in the next Guardians movie.
Because the dude from Little Funny Looking Fella, he playing him.
I don't know.
What's the show? What's the movie with Jennifer Aniston?
You remember it was Jennifer Aniston and who was it?
It was like not Family Vacation, but
it was something with
like a comedy.
It's a comedy movie.
Oh, I know who y'all talking about. I know he played on.
He been on a lot of stuff.
You know what he looked like to me? You remember the old Puppet Master cartoon from the?
What the fuck? Nigga said.
Yeah, remember the little? I don't know if it was a cartoon or it was animated. I know that. The Puppet Master dude. That's who he looked like.
I know what you're talking about now.
That's who he looked like.
I know what you're talking about now. Puppet Master.
Because like Adam Warlock, he's been known in different like stories of Marvel. He's been known as both a hero and a villain.
Right. That's the issue with him.
Yeah. So I'm saying like who's to say he doesn't appear as a villain? Because you know, with them traveling the multiverse, who's to say that he don't end up coming across? Even though they already did the Infinity Saga. Who's to say he doesn't come across the stones and then he does something? Because he does hold the gauntlet in the comic.
Man, I don't know. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it, though.
Iron Man held the gauntlet for a while, too, didn't he? Because when he snapped it in the comics, it didn't kill him.
Well, I mean, they was talking about that, too.
That was a big difference. Because in the movies, of course, he died. But in the comics, he didn't.
But they were saying, they came up with a theory that he's not actually dead. Like his...
Shit. And he was looking rather crispy in the movie. That's my boy, but he looked dead as shit.
It was a theory. It's a crazy theory, but they were saying he's not actually dead, and they saying it's a possibility.
Too into it, didn't get hope, but I think he's done.
Okay. Let's go to the greatest what ifs in sports. It could be any sport.
Man, I was going over this all day. I'm thinking Bo. What if Bo doesn't get that hip injury? What kind of numbers he would finish with?
I mean, Bo was really one of a kind as far as athletic ability.
And they said he was so strong, that's what got him hurt. The way
because the force he went down with.
And also, like, the time he was playing. Like, if he played now.
He would dominate now still.
And his injury probably would be something he could recover from. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Medicine has advanced. But
that combination of power and speed, though, you can't even create that on a video game, dude. You can't.
Yeah, because he was something serious.
2 speed at 240, whatever. Come on now.
I'm trying to think, bro. Because you said Bo, I was really gonna say something with Bo. Damn, bro.
It's a few though. We could pick several, man. I mean,
Terrell Davis.
Yeah.
Him too.
D Rose. I mean, we went through that.
I was gonna say Bo too.
Self-inflicted,
but since you said it, somebody else popped into my mind, Penny Hardaway, because Penny Hardaway was my favorite player. As a kid, man. So, and he suffered injuries. And I think I was talking to Quinn. I said that we were talking about, like, when Shaq left, it kind of put more stress on Penny because he was just that, like, he was by himself. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think if Shaq was still there, or if you even got him a decent number 2, he probably would have, had a longer career. But yeah, Penny was my favorite player, man. Like, before Bron, it was Penny.
Yeah, Penny was cold, man. You go watch the old highlights, the stuff he used to do and the way he played. If he never got injured, it would have been totally different.
Yeah.
Could we say the same thing about Grant Hill too?
Grant was
Yeah,
tough,
you can
bro.
say Grant Hill because there was a lot of
And
people
he's
that
still in the
feared
plan
Grant
for a
Hill
while,
too
too, though.
when he first came into the league because of how dominant he
They
was.
said they couldn't.
I think we said that we were talking about him too.
Yeah. Well,
Y'all probably didn't think about this as a what if. What if SMU did not get the death penalty?
Oh, they would have won.
they probably realistically would have been the top school in Texas.
Yeah, that's what I'm
They
thinking.
definitely would have had a couple titles off of
crazy,
that.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that set him back bad.
Yeah.
You know.
They never recovered.
I ain't think of it on that level. Like when he said it, I was like, all right, player. But if we talking about like teams, organizations,
What if
like
can be, it doesn't have to be a player.
Any
It could be what if.
sport,
Yeah.
anything.
I could probably talk all day about that, man. So I'm gonna just leave it with Penny.
Shit, I was gonna hit you with that. What if he got a yard further on that Super Bowl?
Tennessee have a Super Bowl. So.
What? I wasn't even a fan. That shit hurt.
I'm gonna go with what if Sean Taylor never passed away?
The GOAT,
Ooh.
hands down. Like don't be wrong. Ed is my top safety, but if Sean doesn't pass, yeah.
Shit, Washington
No
whole
debate.
organization would probably be different, bro.
And he would also get penalized every other play too. That boy be getting fined every 30 seconds.
Man,
Yeah,
but
that's a
he
good one,
was
too.
that dude, bro. Because there wasn't too many safeties that, at his size, had his range.
Yeah.
He didn't run the fastest 40, but he had great football speed.
Yeah.
He could get from sideline to sideline in a blink of an eye.
That's what made him scary too.
Yeah,
And then that hit on that punter, you can't forget that one. Whoever killed that nigga.
man, there was a lot of hits, man.
That the college hit, who was it? PK Sam or who he hit? That Miami game.
So Florida against Florida State.
It was a PK, I think. When he made him do the helicopter. Yeah.
It might have been
I think it was
PK,
PK.
but it was a lot of crazy hits back then, and that's back when you couldn't get penalized for too much back
Yep.
then. Now you barely tap somebody, it flag,
Yep.
fine you, kick you out the game, all type of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one more what if that I got. What if UT never fucking cheated in the national championship game?
I had a
USC.
feeling somehow.
Hey, they didn't cheat, man.
They didn't cheat.
They
dog.
fucking cheated because you watched the play
Nah, that nigga
when
was
Vince
down.
Young ran the option. His knee was fucking down before he pitched the ball.
Hey,
It was.
If that's the case, we cheated against Danbury too. Then
Man, hell
he
no.
definitely did. He definitely did.
Hey, your knee was down. I seen that.
It's a lot of fucking.
that was one of the greatest games though that
Yeah, that was man. That
I
was a
seen,
good game.
man.
He had what, over 400 total
And
yards?
I ain't gonna lie. I liked Reggie and them. I wanted them to win,
Hey,
but
Lindell was
at
killing their
that
ass, too.
time I was a big UT fan, man.
I let everybody know I fucking hated UT.
Man, I love UT, man. With Vince Young,
Yeah, that team was.
that
nice.
team was
Team was overrated.
maybe
You probably didn't like the secondary.
they were.
I didn't like no, not one player on the team except for the only player.
What about Jamal?
Jamal is the only one I ever fucked with
Okay.
from UT. Him and Sid Benson. Them the only two I ever fucked with that came from UT. Everybody else trash.
Goddamn.
All
That's
of them.
tough.
Just saying, they fucking been cheating for I don't know how long. And you see, they ain't really been successful since then.
True.
Ain't had no quarterback since Colt.
Colt was trash too.
Hey, Colt wasn't trash.
Shit, what'd he do?
He won the shit to the game.
He ain't win no championships. He ain't win no Heismans. He ain't win no what's the quarterback? Is it Davey O'Brien for the quarterback?
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
He ain't never win none of that. He never even been a finalist, I don't think.
Mhm.
He ain't
He
did
wasn't
shit.
trash, though.
All he did was pass the fucking Jordan Shipley sorry ass. That's all he did. He
man.
ain't do nothing.
They ain't never gonna get no pass.
I'm just saying, UT has always been trash in my book. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get to these main topics. Let's the first one is how soon is too soon in relationships? That could be anything from moving in together, saying I love you,
Kids involved.
yeah, starting a family, meeting the family, really even basically putting confirmation and giving it a title. Like how soon is too soon?
That's tough to really put a label on that though, because sometimes things may move faster and it may work out, but that's tough. It's not really a right or wrong answer to that.
Yeah, I think it depends on the people
It
because
depends on the vibe and surroundings.
because you
not
got
just-
some people that's probably been in multiple situations where they move too fast with a certain person, the other person it didn't seem too fast because of who that person was or how they connected or whatever happened. I mean, I'm trying to see if I can think of an example, but I don't want to talk about like actual people, so
Right.
I just make
Yeah.
up an example.
I got you.
Let's say it's a female that she's known for having Or I'll just put it like this. She don't like being alone, right? You got to have a boyfriend all the time. And this particular dude she talking to, maybe they got real serious like in 2 weeks.
God.
It's been people that have done that before.
That's
with a new
ridiculous.
with a new person.
Yes, with a new person.
Like they was friends before, and then
something wrong. That's definitely too soon.
See what I'm saying?
No.
Yeah.
But yeah, you said if there's somebody they didn't know. Now, if there's somebody they did know, it would be more understandable based off of the situation.
Right.
So that's why I'm saying it really depends.
Okay. Because I got like a little bit of a scenario. I'm gonna put myself, because it is a situation that I went through, and then some people thought I was moving a little too fast. I was dating this female. I'm not gonna say her name. We were only dating for maybe 4 or 5 months. And she was always at my crib. She never was at hers. I mean, she used to get off of work, be in my crib, get ready for work at my crib, come home to my crib the next night. So she was like never at her own spot. So my mama is the one was like, well, shit, she always over there. She might as well be paying rent. So I was like, okay. I asked her, did she want to move in with me? And she did. But that's what I'm saying. That was like 4, maybe 5 months into the relationship. And there was some people that were saying that I was moving too fast. But in my mind, I didn't think that I was. So, I mean, do y'all think that that was too soon?
I mean, that's 4 or 5 months, though. I mean, it's not like it's just not that 2 week shit. So, I mean,
right. I think that's like
reasonable.
That's probably the earliest you should go. Like 6, I say like 6 months or whatever, probably the earliest you should go. And I know a lot of people, they won't move in until they get married. Yeah. And I feel like you need to live with that person if you plan on marrying them, because that shit might be totally different, bro. Like they shit, they might be just some nasty ass, don't clean up after themselves type male or female. You know what I'm saying? So, but as far as like putting a number on it, I mean, you can't really put a number on it, because I think there is a such thing as too soon for sure. Yeah. Like you definitely need to like get to know that person before letting them up in your house. Motherfucker might be a serial killer or something. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Or even like when it comes to sex or having kids, like, and I feel like that's why a lot of male or females in situations now, you know, where they got beef with they baby daddy or their baby mama because they thought that person was something and they turned out to be totally different.
And kind of like I mentioned, kids, not just having kids, but relationships getting, I guess, moving in and too close. That especially depending on how old the kids are too.
Right.
So
like
it's not just having them; it's just that changes things too.
Yeah.
Like the mother may have a lot going on, may be real protective and hesitant to.
And this goes for both sides. I mean, I'm mainly talking to the ladies. Like, do not bring any type of man around your kids, man. Like, for real. And I mean, fellas too. Like, you don't know that female. Like, if you got custody of your child and you dating a woman, like, get to know that woman, bro. Because not all women really there for them kids. Like, it might be some foul play type shit. So, and like, kids can't protect themselves. So it's the parents' job. It's y'all job to protect them.
Exactly. I mean, I'm gonna let any single females out there that do have kids know I do have my stepdaddy life. Okay, let's go to workplace relationships.
Hell, nah, because man, even if it's going well between y'all, it could just be some negative outside energy. And all it takes is one person. Nah, man, I like keep that shit simple.
Okay, so
that shit outside of work.
So
I have it, but I'd rather nah.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, I'm saying, have you ever done that before?
It's been a while. We kept it low key, but like I said, all it takes is that one person.
Let's say it's kind of hard to keep that stuff low key.
That's why I don't even leave that shit to chance now.
I've never been in that situation before. I've never wanted to be in that situation.
Yeah.
Hell, I ain't gonna lie. I don't even want to. Sometimes people like work. I don't even want to be your friend half the time. Because I'm gonna say like this. Because if you've been at a certain place for a certain amount of time, like working wise, you see it every day. People talk about people all the time.
Yeah, they be
they'll be right in their face 5 minutes later.
All the time, man, every day.
So now imagine if relationship wise, it could be the same thing. Now you're talking to this woman or man or whatever. And these same people that you hang out with or whatever, and they talk to, and they talk about other people. Now they with somebody else, they talking about you and that person for no reason. You know? So
and then when you walk up, smiling.
Yeah.
And shit.
So that's why I like to keep personal and work kind of separate. Now, depending on your profession, you have to have relationships with the people you work with. That's a little bit different because you can't walk around and just not talk to anybody. Yeah. You don't want to do that because that's unhealthy for work too. But keeping it separate and making sure, just, you know, you got to do that sometimes. It's sad that you have to do that, but everybody not.
Keep work. Yeah. Leave personal life out of that.
Everybody not like that, man. Everybody they don't play the same way as everybody else. So it's kind of tough.
Right. What you think on that, Leland?
I mean, I didn't been in a work, relationship or whatever. But I also agree with what Twan said, man, because like it be some messy MFs, in all places. And also another issue might come up, like let's say that relationship don't work out, and you got to work with this person every day, and you might not feel any animosity or hostility towards them, but they might feel it towards you. So it make the dynamic in the workplace weird. Like that is tough, man. Like, and also I feel like sometimes people they might get in a relationship just because you comfortable with that person because you didn't been with them every day. You get to talking to them, things like that. And I guess it's okay, but you got to think about, is it really, like, is that really what you want? Or is it just because you in this setting every day that makes it comfortable for you type thing?
Comfortable and convenient,
yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. I've done the workplace relationship a few times. And I did try my best to kind of not necessarily be secretive and stuff like that, but I'm a private person, so I don't like people in my business. But it wasn't until I started talking to this particular female that all of a sudden my name is drawn up in this rumor. And a lot of these people didn't even know me. Like they couldn't tell you my actual name.
Exactly.
So they would just say him. They didn't know my name, but they were still bringing up rumors and stuff like that. So that's something that could also be a negative with workplace relationships. So, that was back then. That was years ago. I really haven't gone back down that road as of late. I mean, I usually I don't mind being friends with people I work with. If we do decide to, go out somewhere, cool. But like I was saying, there are people that I work with that sometimes they'll talk about you when you walk away, then when you walk back over there, they want to be cool and stuff like that. I mean, you expect that from certain type of individuals, but I feel like grown men shouldn't do that. And there are grown men at my job that do this little, whispering and stuff like that when you walk away and want to talk about you when you're not there, but then when you come back and want to say what's up, shake your hand and stuff like that. And I'm going to let all y'all know I'm not the one. Because if I find out that a certain individual, and I know for sure that this person said this, they will get checked. And it's only really, I'm not even going to say two ways. It's only one way it can go, with your ass being busted, because I do not play about none of that. But
that could just be added stress too, because work is stressful enough. You bring in something like that, that's nah.
Yeah, man. So
that could be mentally taxing too. So.
Yeah, so you just gotta be careful with the workplace relationship things. I mean, because I know people that have successful relationships and they work with their significant other, and they have no issues. They have no issues that they bring to work.
Right.
Because that's another thing too.
Yeah.
If you got problems outside of work and you stay outside of work because you bring it in, it's not a good look. You don't look professional. You could be throwing off your game, not focusing on what you need to be doing.
And get fired.
So, yeah, you could lose your job over having an argument 10 minutes before you came to work.
Yeah.
So sometimes you got to think about stuff like that too. Sometimes it's best to just be cool, just be friends, and not take it to that next level. How do you know if someone is the one? Whether that's, you want to start a relationship or you are in a relationship and you are on the verge of marriage. How do you know someone is the one?
Shoot. I'm still mad about that one that got away, but yeah, we ain't going to speak names, but all three of y'all know who I was thinking about as soon as you said that.
No, I don't.
We ain't throwing that name out there. Shoot. It could have been.
I think, man, it's like, this is me. It's more like a feeling you get. So when you want to start a relationship, I'll just go in like in order of, girlfriend versus this versus that. You obviously, like we talked about on our last one, it's gonna be physical attraction first. So you see her, she pretty, you know what I'm saying, you feeling a blase. Then you get to the personality, like when y'all together, how do you feel with this person? When y'all not together, are you thinking about this person? And the shit is easy when you first start. Like, that puppy love phase is what they call it.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's say you get, and that's girlfriend material. Let's say y'all get in a relationship, you get further down the road, you need to still have that same feeling you had when you first met that person. In order for them to be the one, I say. You know what I'm saying? And marriage is hard, bro. Like I ain't gonna lie to you, because the longer you go, the harder it's gonna get, because you trying to keep that even relationship. Like if you in a relationship for 3, 4, 5 years, it's hard to keep that fresh feeling. You know what I'm saying? So you got to do stuff to kind of overcompensate for that. But if that woman give you that feeling and she for you, then she the one, basically. Yeah. If she builds you up and not tear you down,
that you hit the nail on the head right there. Like the support when things aren't going well, either with work or just life in general. When you get that support, that makes you be like, all right, that might be the one worth going that level for.
Yeah, I'm gonna go off of you because shit, I'm married too. So man, it is hard, because the longer you with somebody, that it's just hard. Yeah. If y'all not married, y'all find out. If you're not in a relationship for a long time, you'll find out as well. So there's nothing wrong with that, because, again, like you started with the girlfriend versus this and that. It's all the same for all of them.
Yeah.
It depends on how that person makes you feel, how y'all connect, how y'all you got to have a bond with this person. And if you can't, let's say, if you never been like that with somebody else, then for sure.
Yeah.
If somebody's been similar, be like, well, this right here is something right here is different, and what the difference is. Again, that's how you know the person won. So, and like you said, when stuff not going right or whatever, how does it go? Or if they get up and just walk off because, let's say you lose your job, you ain't got no money, and they just leave you, that's not the one. Just straight up.
Right.
Now, they try to encourage you, hey, you should do this, or we gonna get through this, stuff like that.
Because it's not just the physical support; the spiritual support goes a long way too on that one.
So that's another way you can know. But again, people are different. So
yeah,
somebody else may feel a certain way on how they can tell somebody's the one based off what their needs are or their wants or how they look at life or whatever. Because everybody, like some people don't believe in marriage, but they still have that person that they're gonna be with
for 40 years.
They married, but I mean, yeah.
Okay, because I ain't because I'm a little bit different. I mean, I tend to fucking catch feelings a little too fast. So it's kind of sometimes it's kind of hard for me to really pinpoint who is the one.
Yeah.
Because I could be talking to a chick for, let's just say, a month or two, and we vibe off each other and stuff like that. Everything's cool, but she may not be the one. And then just say I talk to another female down the line, same amount of time, everything good, and then all of a sudden, we decide, let's put a title on this. And then after, let's just say, a month or two of being boyfriend and girlfriend, you start to see that person's not the one. Mm-hmm. So I'm saying, sometimes, for me at least, it's kind of hard for me to tell because of the fact that I do, become infatuated with that female, because I do constantly think about that female, and I constantly want to spend time with that female, and we vibe off each other, and I feel a certain type of way when I'm with that person, but they can end up not being the one. And it's just, with me, it's always been tough, because I haven't had many relationships in my life, and when I started to actually date on a serious level, it was more so I wasn't really taking enough time to kind of feel that person out. It was kind of like, okay, let me chill with this person 3 or 4 times, see what it's feeling like. Yeah, we cool and stuff like that. I really like, being around this person. And then it just goes sour after that. So sometimes I feel like, I'm still trying to learn how to really see if something is going to work out rather than just doing it because I feel like that's what it is at that moment. And that's just something I've always been struggling with. I still struggle with that to this day. Deontay Wilder voice.
To this day. No, but on what you saying, man, you know how you say like after that 2 months or whatever y'all been boyfriend and girlfriend and shit might hit the fan. If both of y'all willing to work through that, then that means that's the one. And with me, like back on another episode, I was talking about how it was hard for me to communicate and shit. Like we was talking about this black man. So when I used to get into, you know what I'm saying, get into a spat or whatever with a female, I'd be like, man, whatever, like I'm out. Yep. Versus now, or as I got older rather, I'll be like, it might take me a while, but I'll be like, man, let me sit down and think of how I could have did this or what she's trying to say to me versus just shutting down and not communicating. Because that's the worst thing you can do if you're trying to make something work is shut down. But like you say, it's hard to recognize that it's kind of like a trial and error thing. But the good thing is, like, if those weren't the one for you, it wasn't a waste of time, I guess. You know what I'm saying? You ain't neither one of y'all dragged it on, or you might have not dragged it on or whatever. So, I mean, when it's there, you'll know for sure. That's just my little insight. And this a dumbed down version because, you know what I'm saying, we only got a certain amount of time, but
yeah.
We can talk about that shit at dinner.
Communication. If that communication level ain't there, then yeah, that's not it.
Because I did have a conversation with somebody at work, and he was kind of telling me that
y'all don't mind the noise.
Yeah,
don't mind the noise.
That basically, like, I give too much of my power to the woman, and that's why I tend to, you know, catch feelings fast, stuff like that. It's because I'm like, he basically put it to where it seems like I'm almost trying to force something rather than letting it flow naturally.
That could be because
there before.
I mean, it's a lot of people that do that. Not to cut you off, it's a lot of people that do that, and they'll go looking for it because they want it so bad versus letting it come to them. So when he said, like, I guess I get what he's saying, giving the woman too much, you know, giving her too much power, not in a literal sense, but as far as a relationship, building a relationship wise, he's saying that. But that's possible. Like, we on the outside looking in.
Yeah.
So that, you know what I'm saying, if you run it back in your head and think about, you know, the relationships that you had and you know what happened, this, that, and the other, you'll probably, you know, find your answer, and then, you know, you can go from there. So,
well, I mean, if I have to really, like, I'm gonna just pinpoint the more serious ones.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There was one female that, you know, we were starting to get a little more serious, and then around that time frame is when our mama was going through what she was going through with the with cancer and stuff, and then, you know, that right there was weighing on me, and then I basically blew my knee. I couldn't play ball, so that also kind of weighed in. So I was kind of like, I was in a like a slump almost.
Yeah.
And instead of her like actual like trying to give me some emotional support, she just like bailed out on me.
See? And
really after that, it kind of made me go a little bit differently with the females. Instead of trying to build a relationship, I kind of became a dog for a while. I mean, I didn't dog women out, but I'm saying, like, I was more so worried about the wrong thing. I wasn't worried about relationships and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was more so, shit, I'm going to shoot my shot at every fucking female I see type shit. I was more so worried about that to try to fill that void, because I feel like once I became vulnerable to this particular female and then she just did what she did, it kind of made me look at stuff differently. Like, maybe I shouldn't be trying to do the relationship thing right now. I should be just trying to have fun or whatever.
Right.
So I feel like that right there is kind of one thing that made me view it the way I view it. So I mean, I'm still trying to learn and stuff like that. And I haven't really been trying to force anything for a while. I've been more so letting everything flow naturally and stuff like that. Whatever happens, happens type shit. You know, because ain't no point of me forcing something and then it don't work how it did. And I, you know, go through the bullshit again.
Yeah.
We got a little bit more time, so I'm gonna probably throw a little curveball here.
Hold on, you mind if I ask y'all a question? Because I had this discussion with my wife the other night. All right, let's say y'all, you 15, 16 years old. Did y'all think about being a husband or did y'all think about being a father?
Ooh. I'll answer that. I'm just answer that because I feel like I know where you're going with it, and in my head, when I think back on my life, I thought about being a father before I thought about being a husband. I don't know why, but that's the way my mind was. I was like, man, when I become a daddy, this and this, I never put husband first when I was that young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say the same thing. I thought about being a father first before I thought about husband.
So I asked that question because we were having a discussion basically, and I was like, I said, I feel like women are more geared towards, they think about being a wife.
Mm-hmm.
They may think about being a mother, but I think most of the emphasis about, I can't wait to get married, you know, in my dress and things like that. And I said for her, like, well, at least for me, I couldn't speak for everybody. I thought about being a father. Like, shit, I can't wait till I have a son.
Mm-hmm.
He play ball and things
exactly.
like that. You know, so I just wanted to, you know, run that by y'all. I told I was gonna ask people, and man, like if y'all comment or whatever, and you know, so y'all got to answer both women and men. I want y'all to comment, man, and let me know. You know what I'm saying? What y'all?
Because thinking about different ways you can show them this and that stuff you learn from your fathers, uncles, and all that stuff, passing down different things like that. So yeah. That definitely crossed my mind before, like, marriage.
Yeah, like I don't think as young men, like, I don't think we geared to think about husband or marriage. I think
that's crazy, man. Now that I think about it, because I think most men answer would be the same. Like, only because me and my wife talked about that before too, but it wasn't that direct question. But most women always fantasize about how their wedding is going to be, how they're going to be proposed to, what kind of dress they're going to have. And men, they'll start thinking about that when it comes for that time.
Yeah.
So before, you always thought about, if I have children, and for some reason,
it's going to be a son.
It's always got to be a son. Like, men always put a son first.
Tell you.
And my first child was a girl, so but I still felt the same way, but
see, I was a little different
about that.
I was a little different.
Goddamn DJ.
You want a daughter?
For some reason, I always imagine myself having a daughter first, or even twin girls.
Would you be overprotected?
I'm going to tell you now.
Fucking right.
See? Yep.
Of course, man.
I'm going to tell you now, don't handle the twins, dog.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying because all my siblings have children already.
Yeah.
And the gene for the twins is on us.
Yeah.
I'm the only one that don't have kids. So I'm a little hesitant when it comes to stuff like that. But if I fuck around and have twins first go around, that's it. That's fucking it. I'll get a dog and name him Anthony the Third. I'm just saying.
Hey, I'm telling you, bro. Your kids, they don't. I told you, shit. Daycare. I pay $300 a week for daycare, bro.
Shit.
So. Then you had diapers, food, and they only getting older. Ain't like they getting, you know what I'm saying? So, but no, I wanted to ask y'all that question, man, because we was just having a conversation about it, and I had said that I feel like at least 8 out of 10 men will say the same thing as me.
So you probably got some that would say they ain't really thought about neither.
Yeah.
Some
just doing their own thing. I mean, yeah.
I mean, but
I don't want to put nobody out there, but I had a matter of fact, I'm not gonna go too deep, but he was somebody I was close with. I'll say this.
Yeah.
He said straight up, I don't want to have kids. He said he's not having kids, and I don't remember him ever saying anything about getting married either.
He just want to live life.
He just want to live his life. You know what I'm saying? Now,
I mean,
he's had females before, you know, like partners or whatever, but I don't think he ever, at least to me, he never talked about marriage. And I think even right now, I don't think he's married. I don't know if he's in a relationship or not. He probably keeps that private, but he's doing what he said. He's living his life. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that.
Nah, it's their choice.
But it's just, I don't know. It's kind of funny. Yeah, he's the only person that I've heard personally say that, like, I don't want to have children. Most men want to have children so they can keep their family going. You know,
the legacy, man.
Yeah.
Even though Leland's is solidified right now.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to my boy Lon Mohead, man.
Right, we're live right now.
Oh shit, we still got just a tad bit more time. So, curveball, right?
Okay.
Once again, I was watching the videos on the fucking conspiracy stuff
On the movies and shit.
on the movies. This one, I low key thought didn't make any sense, but it is what it is. They said on the movie Juice that when they went to Still House for lunch,
Okay.
Tupac actually fell asleep when they was watching that movie. So everything from that point on was his dream.
Man.
Wait, hold on.
Hold on. I heard you, but hold on.
Is there a clip with him sleeping on that movie when they went to the house?
No.
So how can they possibly say that?
They were saying that was a dream because he was so
Into the
focused
movie?
on trying to be the man.
Yeah.
And they were saying, like, basically, like, if you really think about it, to me, it don't make sense because it's like, okay, why would he dream about killing his friends and then him dying?
Yeah.
And it was from Q's point of view, not his. So why would his dream be from Q's point?
Well, you know how, the people I'm talking about, they come up with a lot of
They be-
crazy
They're just
stuff.
bored
They-
making up some shit.
They be eating shrooms
I'm gonna have to
and
watch
watching that shit.
Yeah, I didn't even. Soon as I didn't even watch the whole video. As soon as I heard their thoughts on it, like when they said that it was Bishop's dream, I cut the video off. I'm like, man, no, I'm not even going for this, bro, because they kind of lost me with the O-Dog and
Oh yeah, from
Kane
Menace Society.
because it makes sense in certain scenes, but there's a lot of scenes where that theory doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So I mean, you got people that poke holes through their stuff in the comments, and they'll make a video. Just say you go in there and comment and say this theory don't make sense. They'll make a video and directly talk to you
About
why it makes sense.
That's crazy.
So
They got too much time on their hand, man.
Way too much.
obviously, but that's just how it go. I mean, I'm into conspiracies and stuff like that, but it has to make sense. It can't be just thrown out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Even though I got one that I personally think makes sense. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
The OG.
Yes, the original series.
Okay.
Will actually died when he got his ass whooped on the basketball court. And that whole thing is like his transitioning into heaven. From him going to Bel-Air all the way up until the end of the series.
I don't know about
man.
that.
I don't know.
I mean, if you
I never looked at it like that.
I'm just saying, bro, because like, why? Like, I get it.
Or it could be when he got to that fight, he killed the other dude. He went to prison. Now this is what his life would have been like, or could have been like, if this would never happen.
I mean, you can
Damn,
go you
yeah.
can go a lot of different ways. I just don't think that. To me, it don't make sense. He got beat up and he had to move to Bel-Air. Like that didn't make any sense to me. Like
Yes.
the actual storyline for the show. So, man, it is what it is, man. It be some crazy stuff. Anybody that's into conspiracies, you could put that in the comments too. That way we can kind of discuss what y'all want to talk about as far as conspiracies go. But I mean, really, that's all we got for today's episode. We're gonna catch y'all next time. I'm Quinn. It's Leland, Brew, Twan. We the Club 36 Podcast, and we out.
All right.